Okay, we'll give this a couple more minutes to let some more people join. All right, welcome everybody to Field Updates. Today we're joined by MIRA's Political Director Maroni and our guest Milagros Barreto, who's a community organizer with La Colaborativa, to talk about what's happening on the ground in our communities. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Maroni.
Laura. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I'm really excited to be having this conversation today with Milagros from Colaborativa. Milagros my name is Maroni Minter. I'm the political director at MIRA. I use he, him pronouns. Before we jump into the conversation, I'd like to pass it to my partner, Milagros, to introduce herself.
Thank you so much, Maroni. I'm very, very excited and happy to be here in this forum. Again, I'm Milagros Barreto, she, hers pronouns. I work at La Colaborativa as a community organizer in this moment.
Great, thank you. Thanks again for joining us into this conversation. And thanks to our audience for joining. As you all know, these have been an ongoing conversation every Friday. So we hope that you will tune in again next Friday. And so for today's conversation, Milagros and I just want to talk, I want to have a conversation about what is happening in community with some of the ICE activities that we are seeing, and talk about share some of the stories of the people that we are seeing picked up in the street, and how these activities are really impacting our community. So we're just here to have a conversation, and we encourage folks to chime in a chat as well. So again, thanks again, Milagros. So the first, I think it's fair to say that our immigrant community is grappling with a lot, right? With a lot of fear, and for good reason, because of what we're seeing, some of the other activities that are happening, how families are being torn apart, being separated, innocent folks. And so just to kind of humanize some of the stories that we are hearing in this conversation. So just to begin, if you can talk a little bit about, what is happening in your community, what are you seeing lately, and when you think about what's going on with ICE deportation, what are you seeing and feeling around you?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share some really chaos things happening in that community. I mean, starting for education, we have seen a drop of children in schools, more than 300 to 500 kids less enrollment than when the year started, than the past years. That's very concerning. I mean, we're seeing now where are those children? Where if they move from another city, if they are going through other schools, if they're doing homeschooling, what's happening with that education and the right for children to receive an education, right? We have seen the Chelsea community very impact a lot of ICE activity around the city during this past month. A lot of family separations. People wants to out of deport themselves. They say, I have mothers that say, I prefer, even these mothers that are under a procedure, right? They are not, they have the asylum, let's say, they prefer to deport themselves, self-deportation, and they say, I prefer that I go back to my country with my whole family together.
Wait,
Then,
so you're saying even folks who are, in the process of
mhm,
obtaining their legal status, people who are here on TPS, for example, because of the pressure that they are facing,
yes,
they are now willing to self-deport rather than face. Wow.
exactly. And TPS is another topic, but I'm talking about the families that are going under an asylum process.
Correct. That's
And
right.
now the new thing is judges are closing the cases, and people sometimes they don't have the resources to appeal the cases, and then they just are in the air. They have no status, no work permit, no nothing, and then family says, I don't know what's going to happen if I go to the court to my check-in, and I'll never come back from to after that court. What's going to happen to my kids? My family is going to be destroyed. So I prefer go back to my country altogether than go through the process that my family is breaking in pieces. We had a case last week. The mother, they are under asylum case. The mother, since 2018, they've been doing the check-ins, and she have her check-in on Monday, and the husband has the check-in on Thursday. And because it was raining, she stayed in the car, and he went to do the check-in. He never came out. He was detained, and she was in her car with her baby waiting for her husband, even though being under a process of asylum. Imagine how scary is that. So yeah, I can continue with the list, but
Yeah.
people with TPS, yeah, is very, very, very scary.
Thank you for sharing that particular incident. I think that was going to be my other question to you, is whether you can share any specific story, whether someone that you know or a client. But I think that's one of them. One of the things too, I should say, Milagros, I just want to say thank you to you and your organization. I think it's well known that you all play a very instrumental. You are, an organization that a lot of folks rely on, a place where folks can show up, continue to show up, and just the services that you are providing are really helpful and make a big difference in our immigrant communities. So thank you. Notice I'm saying your organization, but and because I know that because of the service that you provide and what you believe in, you've also been facing some difficulties, some threats, and so if you can talk a little bit about what that's been like and what that causes for you and your staff and some of these threats that you've been receiving, only if you're willing to share here.
Yeah.
But also you don't have to speak to them if you do not want to.
Yeah, no, thank you for your understanding. But I will say before coming, join you in this meeting, in this interview, I was just sitting down with a person that she have TPS from Nicaragua. And she was like, Milagros, what I'm going to do? I can't work. My TPS was canceled. What I'm going to do? I've been here in this country for 30 years. And it's the way that you tell people, the community, we're not these times are not to ask what I'm going to do. Is how I'm going to prepare from now on and see my future in order to move forward. So the strategy has changed. It's not react, it's how now it's prepare. For us as a staff, we have been in a lot of attacks now. For example, my director, Gladys Vega, president of La Colaborativa, she have to go to court and request, how do you call it, for her harassment. She was being harassed in the Colaborativa space where has been harassed for these certain people, and she have to request a protection order.
Was it
And
a restraining order?
And restraining order, and it was granted for a year. We have to provide all the evidence. This is not, it's real. I mean, the hate, the attack to each other is real. And to see that, we are, La Colaborativa has been around more than 30 years, serving communities. We don't ask if you have documents or not. We don't ask what language do you speak, where you're from, you need help. You have to see, last Saturday we served over 3,000 people.
Wow.
We did a food distribution. You can see the faces of people in that line. They never has been in a line before looking for food, because the food stamps they didn't receive. They were not going to receive their food stamps. So we're here serving, trying to support housing, support wage theft, support, hunger, and having people around us, the staff, the community that come here in danger because some guys or some people wants to, just attack because of the system that we're living right now is crazy. I mean, it's sad. So we do this job with our hearts. We love to serve. We love to care about people. The doors are open for anyone: black, brown, yellow, black, white, whatever colors. We don't ask. It's just that is what we like to do, serve, and that's why we're here. We continue strong together, working for the community, no matter where you're from. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been working around the community more than 20 years or so, because I was working before another organization that we used to work in collaboration all the time with La Colaborativa. And I've been in the community for so many years with immigrant community. I never felt this way before. I never felt that I have to look out twice before I'm going to walk to my car. And I'm from Puerto Rico. Imagine I feel this way. I can every day. I'm like, wow, how the community feels in that situation. They're, in the asylums, in the TPS, in all this process. We haven't a known certain of the future of their lives and their families.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, and I agree with you about that fear. Right? I'm an immigrant myself, but I have a citizenship. Right? Even with a citizenship, because of the way that I look, we know that they are going after the people that look brown like you and me, and so. And as a father, I'm a single parent, have a 12-year-old, and when I think of, I gotta tell you, just the story of the 13-year-old in Everett who was picked up. Like, I think
Yes.
of that. I think about my son because it could be him, and it's just that there are nights where I just it's sleepless because I worry. I worry for me. I worry for my son, and so it's a very very uncertain time. And one of the things I want to ask you is, there is this misunderstanding still, even among the people who don't really pay attention to what's going on. I can tell you, I had a conversation. I was at a restaurant and engaged with someone who
Mm-hmm.
asked me what I do for work, and I told them what I do for work, and the conversation kind of moved into what's happening, and people, this person just say, yeah, but and this is because of this misinformation, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
basically say, yeah, but isn't it all criminals that are getting deported? I thought they're going after just criminals. So it's
Oh my God.
what do you say to that? Can you speak a little bit about, obviously, some of the folks, some of the people that you see picked up in your community that are obviously not quote unquote criminals? So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Still, now we have a lot of social media cameras that can, all these situations can be shared everywhere. Everybody can see it, but still, people that don't believe what is happening to our neighbors. Um, I have another example. I was one of the things that I like to do is for families that have members that they have another situations that they have to go to Chelsea court, for example. They have a hearing about whatever, not related to immigration. Last month, she called me and she was like, "Oh, can you come with us to church to the court because we feel a little bit anxious and afraid of." She is a permanent resident. She have her green card. All the members of the family are in the process, except the person that it was gonna have the hearing. I went. We were gonna meet at the Chelsea courthouse, and out of the sudden, 2 blocks next to the court, she started calling, and ICE detained them. They knew this person it was gonna have the hearing, so they didn't let him go to the hearing. They stopped the car before. Everybody, she has her green card. The other one are under the process, and then they just wreck the windows, grab the driver through the, take it through the chest, throw it out of the car. Then she was with her 13 years old boy that is on the spectrum. He's has autism. The boy gets all out of control, and he wants to grab his uncle because he saw the violence. And then one of the agents just grabbed the boy, put it aside, and then the mother was like, "That's my boy. He has autism. Don't hurt him." And then, guess what? Tell me, Maroni. Guess what? What happened after? What do you think? She was arrested because the agent said that she assaulted him because she was trying to defend her son. I mean, at the end, she was released because I started screaming like crazy. I don't know if it was because of that or because they really looked on her wallet and saw her identification. But the video is all over the place. That's what I'm sharing. It's not something confidential. But I was like, she's a U.S. citizen. She's not a U.S. citizen, on the moment. But then I was like, check her ID. She have ID. So at the end, she was released. We have to take her to the hospital because she was all bruised and everything. Yeah. But this is what is happening, not only here in Chelsea, but when you see these actions on video, it's nothing compared being there in person. Yeah. And being shaking. And I was like sending a text to we have a team, a volunteer team, including some staff to support situations. And I was like, I need help. But it's happening. It's happening. That's the thing, Maroni. It could happen to anyone. Yeah. And that's what people don't understand. It could happen to anyone. It doesn't matter where you are. If you were born, raised here in Boston. I mean. Yeah. And that's the scariest thing, as I was saying, is if you someone look like me, look like you, and it's like, there are cases where they literally are arresting people and just go find about their status later, right? Even people who are citizens. Yep. Who look like us, but because they look like us, that's the reason to be arrested, right? So even citizens, and even after, when they find out that you're not a citizen and they're released, like just the trauma that you've gone through. Of course. I mean, it's just unimaginable. So I just can't think, and I talk about like, I cannot imagine going through that even for a day or a week. And my son, like, I can't imagine. And so can you talk a little bit about what do you think, what do you wish for people to understand? What do you think is a big misunderstanding right now? Yes. And if you could speak directly to people who don't see the reality up close, right, that you're seeing, what would you want them to know about what's really happening to our families? Yeah, thank you for that question. We are doing trainings for people that wants to volunteer. We have a lot of roles, tasks here that people can volunteer, and we do these trainings on Thursdays at 6:30. with people and you can sign in, and we show their videos. We explain what is really happening. We talk about how to document agents' activities in the city, and how important it is to make sure it is these law enforcement agents and it's not FBI or police, right? We want to be responsible and document when it's really us, right? And I can tell you, that's what I'm saying. I can tell you how, the faces of people that said, what? That is really happening.
Mm.
So educate yourself through organizations like MIRA, Colaborativa, and many others that are out there. Take the trainings. Look at the trainings. See the Know Your Rights training for immigration. Understand what is happening. Understand your community. Understand the people that go to clean your house and you pay for that. To take care of your child while you're working. Understand the history and the history of how why we are where we are right now. It's education, Maroni. I think that's the only. I'm very passionate about education. I'm not a teacher, but I'm a trainer. And for me, this is the only tool that we have right now. Education. If you don't want to feel like you are, you're not. I don't not. I'm that this is not affect me. I don't need to look for any, I don't have to be involved in anything because I was born and raised here. I'm white or I'm black or what or brown. But yeah, educate yourself because maybe it don't affect you, but it's gonna affect your cousin, your friends, the uncle of your best friend. Educate yourself. Don't feel like this is not concern to you. This is concerning to everyone in this United States right now.
Thank you for saying that, and it's true, right? I think a lot of folks, this is not just a fight for us immigrants, right? This is a fight for everyone because look, the reality, as you're saying, immigrants are our friends, right? Neighbors, our
Yeah.
teachers, right? Caretakers, and so they are business owners, and so when they are removed from the community as a whole suffers, right? And so we've seen some healthcare providers being taken away. I mean, that has a significant negative impact on the communities that they serve. And so, again, I really appreciate you saying that. So I hope that folks will educate themselves and understand that, immigrants contribute tremendously to the fabric of our society, to our economy. And so, what's happening right now has an effect on all of us, has an effect on our economy, and has an effect on our healthcare system, all of these industries that depend on the labor of immigrant. And so please join the fight, join this movement. But Milagros, I mean, this work can be, obviously it's heavy. As you said, we do it because we're passionate, we believe in it. We show up with our heart. But I want to, before we end, what gives you hope? Obviously, especially in these tough times, even with all the pain, what keeps you grounded? Are there ways that the community is showing love or standing together that gives you hope?
Hmm. Yeah. So also, here at La Colaborativa, we are receiving every week. We have a system. We're receiving professional help for mental health. If anybody feels, oh, this is too much, we are receiving for our directors and our president support, which is has been amazing to help us to continue doing this work. But my hope is that people open their eyes. People realize what is happening, what is really happening, and even though they feel like I mentioned before, even though if you don't feel like this is concerning to you, realize that yes, concerns to everyone. Every time, like this morning, I talk to a community member that have a question, they don't have the resource to go to an attorney, and we can give them that support. We need to be here for people. We need to be here to ask, to respond those questions, to reach out to Mira. Hey, Mira, I have this situation. Can you support us? This is my hope. That imagine if the community can find a place to look for information, to feel the trust that they could go to this place without any threat. This is my hope, and this is what make me go. And all here at the Colaborativa, I can talk to everyone, on behalf of everyone. This is why we're doing this, because we have hope also that for a change.
That's
We
great.
need here. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience? Anything else you want people to know? Any events, some things that are happening? Any last word you have for our audience? Obviously, we'd love to have you back here, right? I believe.
I have many stories to share. I would love to. But yes, so today it's not about the flyer that is in the screen, but today at 5:30 we're gonna have a training, immigration training. We're gonna be talking about the updates, the latest updates. Like the $100 that you have to pay for if you are in asylum process and you receive a letter, how to do that. If you need to locate detain a member that has been detained, how to do it, things like that. But today, here at La Colaborativa, 666 Street, we're gonna be here at 5:30, and also we're starting next week, not Monday, but not Tuesday, but on Thursdays, we're gonna start doing clinics for people, that they can come. If you receive a letter, you don't understand the letter because of in English, and if you still have more questions about if you want to find someone to take care of your kids, if you are detained, you want to get ready for that because you are in danger, we can help you with those documents. And those clinics are going to happen Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to send the flyer in English also to you guys so you can share it. But today we'll be here at 5:30 if you want to join us. And please volunteer in your community, get informed, educate. Together we can make a better place, no matter what is happening around us.
Thank you, Milagros. Before we end, I also just want to plug in really quick from MIRA. We are gearing up for legislative hearing on November 25th. They will be hearing on immigration bill. And so there are a couple of things that we are pushing for. And so we encourage people, if you can, join us at the State House November 25th, starting at 10 o'clock. They will be hearing on some of the immigration bills that we support, but mainly for MIRA, we will be pushing for three key things, right? We don't want the states to be assisting ICE. So Massachusetts law enforcement should never assist ICE in making civil immigration arrests, taking people into custody when no crime has been committed, or ask about someone's immigration status, right? The other thing is to prevent turning police into ICE agent. So right now, ICE is pressuring local police department to sign up for its 287G program, which turns street level officers into ICE agent. And we don't think Massachusetts should do that. And we want to do everything that we can do to prevent the state from signing such agreement. And we'll also be calling on the state to fund legal help to fight deportation. We want the state to pass Immigrant Legal Defense Act to give immigrants who can't afford a private attorney a chance to fight an immigration court. So please join us. We'll have more information to share. But I just want to, again, take a few seconds to thank you Milagros, for this conversation, for taking the time to join me. As you said, we would love to have you more. We want to continue to use this platform to share some of the stories of our immigrant communities, members who are being picked up. So this has been really been a powerful conversation. Thank you again, and we will come back on here.
Pleasure. My pleasure. And I forgot to share that we're going to have food distribution tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. here again in 63 6th Street in Chelsea. Everybody's welcome.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.